NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell. Sue, we're going to start with closing arguments, which took place yesterday. It actually took hours for the prosecution alone. It took 5 hours here. Is it the complicated nature or the historic nature of this case that is making it take so long?
Colton, it's both, of course. The legal experts I've talked to tell me that if you take Donald Trump out of this case and say it was just some regular businessman or a state elected official who did the same thing, the case is pretty straightforward to understand. It's a documents and a fraud case. But of course, you cannot take Trump or the other celebrity witnesses like the porn star Stormy Daniels and the National Enquirer publisher. You can't just extract them from the case. Now, add into this, of course, as you mentioned, the historic nature of the situation. And I think what the prosecution and the defense wanted to be sure they did was present every aspect of their arguments and their cases to the jurors for them to consider.
So let's talk history just for a moment here. The 7 men, 5 women, that's not including the alternates on this jury, they're in a position that no other American has ever been in before, right? To decide the fate of a former president on a criminal trial. And it sounds like, even in Jay Gray's story there, that they're already really engaged in this case, in this trial. Can you comment on the history that they could make in all of this?
Yeah, Colton, remember, they were carefully chosen and vetted to be on the trial. But you're right, it's an enormous responsibility. I can't even imagine that responsibility isn't weighing heavily on the shoulders of the jurors. We have seen what happens to regular citizens who get sucked into the world of Trump and to the world of some of the Republicans and the conservatives. There's been threats of violence and in some cases actual violence, actual acts of violence. Look, the United States only requires a couple of things from our citizens. Fill out the census, file your tax forms, serve in the military if drafted, and serve on a jury if selected. So I just want to keep in mind these jurors are heroes, and we need to keep them centered in that way as this trial comes to a conclusion and afterward.
Yeah, Sue, listen, I hate playing the what if game, but I think that there's a lot of viewers out there who would be curious, right? Let's say that something happens. Let's say that Trump is found guilty. What if, right?
Well,
what happens then? Is he punished? Does he still get to run? Can he even vote for himself at that point? What happens?
That's a good question. So if he's found guilty, his sentence could include a fine, probation, or supervision, and maybe prison time, although most people don't think that's going to happen. And if Trump is found guilty, he will most likely appeal that verdict, and that, buckle your seatbelts, could take months or even longer. So he would remain on bail during that process. And yes, he could continue to run for president. He may not be able to vote for himself for president, though. There's absolutely no provision in the United States Constitution to keep Trump from running or serving as president, even if he is found guilty.
Like sands through the hourglass, Sue O'Connell. These are the days of our lives. Sue, thank you as always. And of course, we recap all the latest political headlines every Sunday morning right here on NBC 10 Boston. It all begins at 10:30 with Meet the Press, moderated by Kristen Walker. And then immediately after, join Sue for the latest edition of At Issue.